Saturday, June 29th, 3:21 p.m. Welcome to Winning Wall Street's Money. We just finished half the year. We just finished the second quarter of the year. That's right. Big things are occurring. Since the end of the month, I consider it important that the higher time frame, which represents more years, more history. I'm going to go over the commodities. U.S. commodities, all commodities, priced in the U.S. dollar. Typically, a stronger dollar is the inverse in commodities. You need to take in consideration supply and demand, as well as many other issues, logistics, how far you are from that commodity, the amount of energy, expense, assurance to get that commodity to you, as well as the demand. There are several categories in commodities: energy, metals, agricultural, livestock. Yep. Commodities trade in the futures market. Futures are a form of derivative. There are different futures exchanges. So we're looking here at a 20-year chart, 20 years of history. Each candle represents a month. And this is crude oil futures. Look here, 2008. Where were you during 2008? What was your occupation? Were you a student? Were you a child? Were you working full time? Were you living off someone else's labor? Crude oil was at all-time high, 2008, $147.27 a barrel. Barrels are 50 gallons. That's a lot of money. Do you remember what occurred during that year? I do. Here's the U.S. real estate bubble. It popped. Yep. Ran up, popped. Big trend for the top-down crude oil. So crude oil is not at the all-time high. It has not been at the all-time high since 2008. Lots of misinformation out there. People saying crude oil is at all-time highs. Crude oil is expensive. Crude oil closed at $81.46 this month a barrel. Yep. Below the highs of last year, below the highs of 2022, of course, below the highs of 2008. Here's the low of 2024. So we're inside the range of last year. Huge consolidation. When the world shut down, closed down, stopped many businesses from doing their business model, being open and providing customers, there was less demand for crude oil. So, of course, you had that sell-off in crude oil. Then when you had logistics problems, it was hard to get crude oil. So, of course, it spiked up. Yep. Another form of energy is natural gas. The United States exports it. We have so much of it. We lack the storage capacity of it. So some nations burn it off, just waste it. It's a fossil fuel, but it's less dirtier than crude oil. It's less dirtier than coal. Here's the high back in 2006. Here's the low. So for the month, look at that. Closed red, still below the highs of this year and above the lows of 2020. Huge consolidation. Understand this correlation here? Crude oil, huge consolidation in the past few years. And natural gas. And it has less of volatility than it had during this period of time, right? Yeah. You may not realize that just because you're looking at the gas pump. Highly recommend you follow charts, know what the situation is. So look at that. Bearish pin bar, natural gas. Bearish pin bar. Crude oil. Bullish candle. Bullish wick. go to the next category. Metals. Metals have many different uses. We have a big demand now in electricity to charge EVs. Many of those electric lines are what? They run on copper. Big demand on copper. Gold is also in much technology. It's not just for jewelry. 20 years of history. Gold being all-time high here. Past several months, huge wicks on the top. The momentum has not continued, and it closed with an inside candle. I am bearish. I'm looking for a retracement. Look at silver, inside candle for the month. There's the high all the way back there. All is green for the year, and inside candle, small trading range. Makes you think, what? Well, just be suspicious. Inside candle simply means indecision, but the location of it and the small trading range of it, lack of buyers. The smart money may be in the new phase called distribution. Distribution. Let's go on to the next commodity of metals, platinum. Also inside candle for the month. Huge consolidation. There's a high for the past 20 years. There's a low. And copper, all-time new high was made this year. And then this past month, red, lower low, lower high. Reversal in trend off that bearish pin bar. Nice. Go on to the next category of commodities. Agricultural grains. Corn. There's a high back there. Red for the month, lower low, lower high. Broke below that bearish pin bar. Yep, very low. Nice. Huge turnaround. The commodity of corn is used in ethanol, uses feed for animals, uses consumption by humans. Many usages of corn. Rough rice, new low for the year. Wow, big reversal. Let's adjust this, move it down. Very bearish candle. Wheat, also look at that big bearish candle, red. Still inside the range of last year. Soybean oil, yep, new low for the year. Soybean meal, red, lower low, lower high. And soybean, new low for the year. So the agricultural commodities are declining in prices, equals better for the consumer at low costs, helping keep inflation steady, lower, has a time frame to get embedded down to the retail level. The growers, to the wholesalers, to the producers on the back to the retail level. Yeah. So the path is looking better on food staples, costing less. And it has a better cost going to many other things, such as I showed you with corn. Takes time. Livestock. If you want immediate gratification, grow your own food. Live cattle. Look at this, 5 years of history. Oops, wrong time frame. Sorry. Let's go back to the monthly. There we go. Live cattle. 20 years of history. This year made an all-time new high. Green for the month. Higher high, higher low, still below the highs. Live cattle, understand, as more nations gain more wealth, as more people gain more wealth, they gravitate or eating more expensive foods. Red meat, aka beef, is more expensive than your pork, more expensive than your poultry. Has a huge amount of benefits for amino acids. It's also high in fat and a high chance of causing cancer if you eat too much of it. Pros and cons, just laying it down to you. But again, as more people gain more wealth, they're eating more cattle. There's only so much cattle on the planet. If you go back to the theory of they produce a lot of methane, which is bad for the planet, well, how much do you want it to be produced? Yeah. And then you got feeder cattle, just like it says. The dead cattle is used for feeder. All-time new high. No surprise. Lean hog. Red for the month. Lower low, lower high. A lot of chop here the past few years. And if you hear the word swine, it's another name for pork, aka hog. Surprised so many people don't know that. Yeah, pork is sometimes referred as the other red meat. Big difference, right? The livestock, the highs of the year versus the grains, the lows of the year. Supply and demand. That's it. Thank you for always spending just a little time with me. Thanks for watching the video.